States was going to freeze settlement money to Israel, Hurricane Wilma the same day became the most intense hurricane in Atlantic Basin history. Not days, not weeks, not months later, at the same moment. And hurricane came ashore, hit Florida on the southeast and southwest side, and has become the third most costliest hurricane in U.S. history. These events happen like this over and over again. This year was going to be another major hurricane and tropical storm season. It hasn't happened. It didn't happen. And it's over in about another week. President Bush has stood with Israel. He refused to call on Israel to stop the war with Hezbollah, beside the fact 4 Saudis came to the White House 48 hours afterwards. President Bush says, and Tony Snow says, Israel has the right to defend themselves. President Bush accelerated the delivery of bunker-busting bombs and smart bombs to Israel during the war. President Bush has stated that Palestinians must fulfill UN resolutions, that they must fulfill the promise of stopping terrorism, and must acknowledge Israel's right to exist. Numerous things have been said for the last 5 or 6 months that have been very pro-Israel. President Bush in previous years would not have gone there. We delivered the book Eye to Eye 72 hours after Katrina. I've got a letter in my book from Karl Rove. Dick Cheney wrote me. President Bush had a businessman put the book in his hand at a fundraiser in Minneapolis. I sent him a book. Many other Christians have sent the White House letters and books and all kinds of things. They've been warned. Now we're going to see what happens from this point forward. Rice and Hughes and Laura Bush and Baker and all of these people think President Bush needs to go forward. So in closing, we need to continue to pray for President Bush. We need to continue to pray for our country. We need to understand fully that God has a plan in this, so we need to pray for God's will, because this is part of God's prophetic end-time plan, with Israel at the center of his redemptive plan for the nations of the world, with Jews, Muslims, Hindus, atheists, and agnostics coming to know the truth of Yeshua as their Lord and Savior. We're blessed. We're going to have an opportunity to watch this play out in the days ahead. And I hope we will all become better watchmen because of what we're hearing during this conference. Thank you very much. God bless you.